I joined a mentorship, we could say, a training on seller financing, not the overall concept, but like how to market, how to find pretty good candidates that are eligible for seller financing. Now it's really just tired landlords with a lot of equity. Now that I'm this further along in the journey, I just realized we were targeting tired landlords that were local but absentee owners that had a lot of equity, and seeing if they were interested in selling their property as a tired landlord. So we sent 250 letters out. By the time everything was all said and done, we negotiated 20 rental cabins that were purchased with a commercial loan for 75% of the loan. And then the seller, we did carryback financing on the whole down payment and our entry costs. So by the time I closed on the property, I made a couple grand and now had a cash flowing asset that cost me no money to get into, but took a lot of knowledge and effort to structure a deal like that. And
let's poke at that a little bit. So you go duplex, fourplex, 20 units. Do I have that right?
Yes.
So again, you get interested in seller financing. You see it as a way to accelerate your growth, get in with less down. That's kind of what I heard you say. You get some mentorship around, I'll call it mailers. It sounds like you did some mailers. Basically, you did some lead stacking, all of that. Where was this? Was this still Alaska?
This was still local.
Okay.
To be fair, at that time, I was also starting to wholesale out of state in Huntsville, Alabama. So I already had some of the knowledge, but it was just that was always cash deals under market value, just typical wholesale deals. This was different, to try to acquire properties through seller financing. Similar overall concept, nonetheless.
So you get a list. Did I hear you right? You did one mailer of 250, and you got. How many phone calls did you get? How many deep conversations? Obviously, you got that deal, but was that like the only phone call, or what happened with the other 249?
Yeah. So these weren't just like mailers that you buy from like Ballpoint Marketing or whatever. It was letters that we printed out, we signed, it had the address, everything was done by us. And we mailed them out in some nice envelopes, cute little stamps that would, maybe someone's, sending them a letter they're interested in. And of the 250, I probably had 50 calls, which is a ridiculous, that's like a ridiculous
20%. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's like a ridiculous return, or, and then I actually had approximately 20 to 25 appointments. I went to 20 to 25 properties. Okay. The thing that held me back at that time was myself. Once I got this one, I was like, I can't do anymore. Like, one is more than enough. I was just hoping to get one out of this. And actually, ironically enough, it was the owner of a duplex that we reached out to. He did not want to actually sell that duplex, but he was selling his cabins. He just didn't have the band. He truly was a tired landlord for those cabins. So that's why he was so, let's just say it was $1 million purchase price. He had a $500,000 loan. He needed $250,000. So I knew that there was $250,000 of equity to play with, that he might be open to seller financing if I could solve his problem, which was to never have to worry about this property, to have guaranteed income, and to sell it at a price that he wanted to sell it at. So that's basically how I was able to structure that deal, which is just seller financing, but after closing, basically, because there's the bank loan in place first.
Okay. All right. So what year did you do that 20 unit?
I did it a month and a half after the 4 unit. So as soon as we closed on the 4 unit, we sent mailers out within weeks, and I was in contract weeks after that. It was pretty quick. Okay. But at that time, I spent, once again, overnight success. At that time, I spent 2 years learning about the local market, understanding rents and expenses and all of that stuff. So when the right opportunity came up, I could execute on it very quickly. So it was one of those things, again, it seems like a quick turnaround, but it was all that work before that made it much more seamless.